Whenever you're ready. Started? I'm Nick Washenko Roofing. We're here at the Polack residence. Currently, the insurance company is paying to do some repairs. The current scope of works for some repairs. We would assume that'd be soft metal damage. So what we're going to do is an attempted repair to see if the shingles are pliable enough to even service the scope that's currently provided. Before I start, I just want to take you on a quick walk around the roof and show you what we got. Every single box vent has clear hail dent indications on it. Right next to you here, this pipe jack, very clear hail dent indications there. If you want to zoom in over here, you can see perfectly circular. There's no sharp lines. There's no scratches. Only thing that's doing that is hail. We come across this roof more. On the back right side, we have 4 examples of that. On the back left side, we have 2 more examples of soft metal damage on that pipe jack. And then on the top of this, turtle vent. And then if you peer back down this eave line, maybe start behind you, clear wind damage on the roof going across the entire thing. So you have 2 there, work our way this way. 1, 2 more right there. Got a couple more here. All right, well, let's get up to the front of the roof real quick. No, Siri, go away. On the right and left slopes, we're seeing 8 to 10 hits in a 10 by 10 square. On the front slope, we're seeing 8+ hits. You want to get maybe some close-ups on this left side here. So this damage is consistent across the entire roof slope, with the majority of it coming from the back of the roof to the front, which is the same direction the storm came from. So I guess before we started, just wanted to show that, and I guess air my concerns given the roof has consistent damage across the entire thing. Definitely, yeah. Roof also has a puncture on the front left slope. So we're going to need to do an entire sheet of 4x8 there as a minimum repair. And if you come up a little bit more, you can see that torn shingle right there as well as some along the rake edge. So, okay, great. All right, well, let's take that. Let's go back to the front. So with that being said, again, just want to show that before we started. This roof has clear damage across the entire thing. Just kind of perplexed why we're out here in the first place. So this shingle, or these shingles around this box vent need to be replaced because of building code 908.5. 908.5 says I cannot reuse aggregate surface material, shingles being the aggregate surface material. The shingles are installed, and then a heavy bead of silicone is applied. You can get up underneath there. A heavy bead of silicone is applied that attaches the vent mechanically or chemically to the shingle. There's no way of removing this vent without removing these shingles. And even if I could do it without removing the shingles, which I can't, the building code says I'd have to replace those and remove them in the process. So I marked out a shingle directly above the box vent, which would be the shingle that if I had to replace, I would need to come from this row all the way down to this row. So I picked this row above it just to test the pliability of the roof and see if we can even service a repair on it. I'm going to use a manufacturer-approved roofing flat bar and a manufacturer-approved roofing hatchet to complete the repair. Sometimes we get asked to use a product called a roof snake. Not only is that only applicable for like DIY repairs, there's not a single manufacturer on the market that says that product is applicable to be used on their products. So we won't be using that. Please don't ask us. Please don't tell us we're doing it wrong because we're using a roof snake, because the answer is no. With that being said, I'm going to get started. I'm going to use my flat bar to break the seals of this shingle, which I'll be removing during the simulated repair, along with the 2 rows above it. Once I break all the seals, what I'm gonna do is remove the nails. There's gonna be one row of nails along the nail line, and the second row of nails is gonna be at the top of the shingle, right? And that top of the shingle is gonna meet right where the nail line of this next row is. So I'm gonna remove between 8 and 12 nails. I'm gonna remove the shingle, we're gonna assess the area, and I'm gonna reinstall the same shingle to show what would happen if I had to work this patch all the way up to here. Can I tie it in without damaging more of the roof, or is this roof not pliable enough to service a repair scope? So with that being said, I'm gonna get started. I'll be extremely gentle throughout this whole process to not do more than I need to. We want to provide an unbiased assessment of the roofing system, which is why this is a live uncut video. As you can see, I'm just using this flat bar to break the seals, and you can see there's a pretty good amount of granules already falling off. I need to check where the shingle ends. Okay, so it's not here. It's not here. All right, so this shingle ends here. So I'm gonna go from here over. All right. If you wanna move over here. Now that I've broken the seals, I know that shingle starts right here. I'm gonna start removing the nails. I'm gonna go one at a time, be very gentle. Right off the bat, the nail already pulled through. So what that means is if this happens up here, I'm actually gonna put a hole bigger than the nail head in the shingle above it, which per the manufacturer would need to be replaced. So again, being very gentle, that's already happened. Another thing to note is the nail on this shingle is directly in the nail line per the manufacturer requirements. So you can see they're consistently nailed. They're not overdriven either. So again, just some things to point out. Work my way down. Same thing here, the nail pulled through completely. All right. I was able to get that nail up and out easy. All right. Again, just lifting this shingles high enough to get the nail out. Trying to be as gentle as I possibly can, just so I don't lose track of where I am. The shingle ended right here. So yeah. How you doing? You good? Good. We're doing a video for the insurance. We'll be done in like 5 minutes.
Oh, take your time.
Yes, sir. So if you hear me talking, that's why.
Yeah,
We're doing the video right now. I'll talk to you when I'm done. Same thing happened here. The nail pulled through. We'll just show it at the end when I pull the shingle out. Okay. That one's not going to come out pretty. Same thing there. So when this happens, there's really no easy way of getting it out. have to work it. You can see what I mean right here when the nail pulls through. Big hole right there. That happened to both the shingles above. So now I have to fish these nails out. And also when that happens, if you want to get a close up on this, we end up ripping the felt. If you want to, here, we end up ripping the felt and exposing the wood decking. So when that happens, obviously this isn't the code because it doesn't have a uniform roofing underlayment like the code requires. So right there, I already know this repair failed because of that alone. I'm gonna continue though, just to document everything. My butt. Thank you. All right, make sure the rest of this is good. All right, I got all the nails out. So at this point, again, we've already determined I have to do more repairs just off of this one shingle because the felt ripped and we have some nail blow throughs. What I'm gonna do now is reinstall the shingle, basically just to continue and finish the assessment. In order to do that, I need to put the shingle has a 5-inch exposure and there's a high likelihood that it's discontinued. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reinstall the same one because we don't wanna violate any manufacturer building codes that say do not mix letters or anything along those lines. In order to reinstall the shingle, I'm gonna put it back in the same place and I gotta lift the shingles high enough to get a nail on a roofing hatchet to put a nail into the nail line perpendicular to the roof deck. In order to do that, I need to lift the shingles high enough to get my nails and my roofing hatchet under there. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. It's getting caught on that damaged felt. All right. So my existing nail is here. I'm gonna go right next to it, just like that, and just work my way down. I'm gonna go right next to the existing nail holes. Again, just high enough to get the nail and the roofing. You wanna come from the side so they can really see. I just have the shingle up high enough to get this job done, not any higher. Get it in, just like that. Hey, you just want to stay on the side so they can see that I'm only raising it high enough. Right next to the existing nail. Same thing, just high enough, right to the existing nail. I'm gonna do the second row now. Same thing. Just high enough. Oops, being too gentle. Same thing. I re-nailed the shingle. One other thing to point out, shingle's never gonna reseal. Seals are long gone. It's hard to tell that now, but if we came back in 3 weeks, I could be able to come through and just go like this with every single tab. There's not one manufacturer that says roofing cement is an adequate tool to reseal a roof. That becomes a permanent maintenance item for the customer. Obviously, if it is an insurance claim, our job is to bring the roof to pre-loss condition, so that wouldn't fly. The last thing I'm gonna do before I end the video, I'm just gonna take my hand. You saw I barely lifted the shingles high enough to service this. I did not lift them higher than I needed to. If anything, I put the nails slightly lower than they originally were to be as fair as possible. All I'm gonna do is take my hand and wipe along the top of them to simulate what the winds and rains are gonna do over the next few weeks to show you what exactly happens when you have to lift the shingles the minimum amount to re-nail. I'm just gonna take my hand and go like this. And if you see, there's heavy crease lines on top of all these shingles now. Every single one of them. What that means is these shingles are not pliant enough to be repaired. The fiberglass matting, which is mixed in with the asphalt, has broken, and the granules lost their bond to the asphalt, which fell off. Per every manufacturer under the sun, this is not okay. Another way you can really visualize this, if you come up close, I'm gonna tap. See when I tap, all these granules fall off? This roof is not nearly pliable enough to service a repair for many reasons. The most obvious one being the creasing at the end. We recommend a full roof replacement. Just to show you a comparison before we go. Again, this is where we did a repair. We move right over here next to it. We'll call this a control area, and I do the same thing. Look at how the granules stay in place. Look at how you don't notice any crease lines along the top of here. Go back to the repair just to show heavy crease lines across every shingle I had to manipulate to service that repair. Clearly it failed. All right, thank you for your time. This is Nick with Shanker Roofing. Please call us if you have any questions. Have a good day.